The first time I came here with the Venerable Master was 1980, 81? I don't remember the year. It's either 80 or 81. Now at that time, DRBA had no way place here. We had no temple or monastery here in Malaysia at that time. So they rented a big hall, a big assembly hall for us to use. So it was big enough to hold a couple of thousand people. And so it was pretty full of people. And they were very curious about the Dharma and the Venerable Master. So Shifu gave lecture at that time. After the lecture, Shifu says, does anybody have a question? And one of the ladies in the audience says, I have a daughter. She's only 12 years old, but she can't talk. She hasn't talked since she was very small. She just stopped talking. And so Shifu says, yes, because she has a demon. And the demon's holding her back from talking. So Shifu did some mantras and told the little Xiaohai to speak. Go ahead and talk. So the little girl goes, wah, makes a big noise. So everybody goes, oh. So the next day, all kinds of people come with crutches and wheel in on wheelchair, and they all want Shifu to cure them. So Shifu says, nope, no can do, sorry. He says, then he told the story. He said when he was young, he was on a ferry boat in China. And this ferry boat had a lot of people on it. And one old guy came by one time. He's just sitting there as a young monk. And Shifu had a walking stick with him. And the old man came to him and says, my leg really hurts, Shifu. Can you do something to help me, recite for me? So Shifu took his cane and hit him on the leg, just tapped him lightly on the leg, and his leg felt much better. So everybody on the ferry, oh, he's got Shintong. He could save me. So they all came up with all kinds of, I got a bad hand, I got a bad leg, blah, blah, blah. Got all these problems. And Shifu's going, okay, Omi Tofo, blah, 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 blah. He's tapping all these people, making them better. And this went on for a while. So they had big lines of people wanting to go bow to Shifu and have them cure their illness. Very quickly, things started to change. The atmosphere around the ferry boat, they were out in the ocean, and the ferry boat was in the ocean, and there was a big, the weather changed from really nice day to a really bad day. All of a sudden, all the clouds got up and caused a lot of wind and storm, and the seas got very high, and it looked like the ship was going to sink. All of a sudden, everybody was terrified on the ship because they thought the ship's going to sink, they're all going to drown. And Shifu realized he'd made a mistake by saving all these people from their illness because he's causing the balance of heaven and earth to get out of balance. And all the ocean spirits, the sea spirits, the dragons, the gods, the spirits all went and got angry at Shifu for causing this imbalance of heaven and earth. So he learned his lesson, and he prayed to Guan Yin to please not let all those people drown. They can drown him. He says, please drown me, but don't let these people die on this ship. They didn't know any better. It's all my fault. And Guan Yin settled the whole thing down. All of a sudden, the ocean became still again. The clouds went away, and everything became still. And Shifu learned, he says he learned from that Dharma that you don't casually go around and change things unless you have deep wisdom. So the Master always told us, if you ever get the ability to do these kind of things like cure people's illness, don't just casually go out there and cure all these illnesses, because although it seems like a compassionate thing to do on the surface, you don't know the causes and conditions of each person. And until you have deep wisdom, don't try to change things. So anyway, we had this big bunch of people in Malaysia coming in with their wheelchairs and their gurneys from the hospital, and they all wanted Shifu to heal them. He said, sorry, we can't do it that way. It was kind of like a zoo. You wouldn't believe it. We had a couple of thousand people all coming with crutches and wheelchairs and ambulances and everything. It was pretty wild. So I've been overseas with Shifu a few times, and I notice every time I kind of lack an attendant, always with him. So when at the end of the lecture, he'd usually sit in the back of the hall and people come and make offerings. And so we would help with that. And people come up and bow to Shifu. And he would tell me, all these people coming to bow to me, he says, you know what I see? I said, I don't know, Shifu. I thought you'd just see people. He says, no, I don't look at whether they're women or men or young or old. I don't look whether they're beautiful or ugly. He says, I only look at their Buddha natures. And all I see is their Buddha natures. And I look at their Buddha nature and see what I have to do to have them wake up to their Buddha nature. He used to tell us that he's only here on this earth to get people to wake up and cultivate and see and become Buddhas. He says, otherwise I don't want to be here. This world is like a toilet to him. He says, I don't have any wish to be here. He says, if I can't make people become Buddhas, then I don't want to stay.